Welcome everyone, and it's a continuing joy to be here in this ongoing blissful experience of returning home. I first went to Melrose, and there was music there. There was music all around. I grew up at a time in Memphis where there were many giants. It's very strange. When we were you guys' age, well, first I went to Melrose, but the music program was good there, but the rough guys were over at Manassas doing my band. Hank Crawford had been through there, George Coleman was there, Booker Little, my dear friend, departed friend, he left at 23, and I'm still lobbying for a statue of him. Phineas first. The thing about Phineas Newborn is that, as I said before, I played an amateur show, and at 9 years old, he said I needed lessons bad. pardon the English, but that's exactly what he said. You need lessons bad. And he was about 16, maybe I'm 9, I'm not sure the age difference. And he took me around the corner on Beale Street to Irving Reason, knocked on the door, and just left me there. I was always an ecstatic. I love the high space, you know, the upstairs. And but I wasn't ready. You know, you have to build the stairs. If you want to get up on the roof up in there, you have to build the stairs. When you all played, I like the precision thing. That was the first thing that struck me. You guys phrasing and all was really good. Improvising, shaky. You know, you trombone players are the best, pianists maybe next and stuff. At the concept so far. But what you have to do is listen to a lot of music. And when you were young, first of all, there are these basics that we must all adhere to. And basics like long tones, you start, you know what long tones, right? Okay? Yeah. And so in other words, without vibrato, you can crescendo and decrescendo on the other side, like an 8 count up and back down. But you want to have a beautiful sound. The elders used to always tell me, I was worried about when you were singing, we couldn't hear you as well as I would like to, you know, and I don't know what to say about that. There wasn't a microphone here and everyone was playing sensitive to you, but somehow within you, you have to find a way. You don't have to be loud, but there's a way that you can bring forth. For example, I'm sitting here speaking now, and I think everyone can hear me. I hope so. If not, then I can pick up that tempo. But you can do it from a restful alertness place where you're aware of your environment with the musicians playing with you. But projection, you find a way to project so that it can reach the back row. And you must be cognizant of that in all of your, wherever you find yourself making that sound. And again, even with singing, beautiful voice, beautiful sound is most important. So, pardon me for jumping all around, but this experience is very drunk for me because I need to let you know some things that are important. I can tell you all have a love for music, okay? That's apparent. But depends on the degree with which you want to invest yourselves into it. For me, I think everyone should be involved in music. It's a wonderful. Everyone needs to be exposed. You know, I'm shocked. I saw something in the paper. They said, "Why is this guy coming here? And why are people interested?" or something. You know, some brief segment. I'm paraphrasing. I don't know. It said something like, "Who is Charles Lloyd and why is he here and why are people excited about him?" Something to that effect. Well, this is rich, deep soil that I come from. I just want to give you a little of this history. So Phineas takes me at 9, he takes me to Irving Reason, who was at Mitchell's Hotel around the corner off Beale Street. I just played the Palace Theater, and I won first prize. Just because you win first prize, so they got these Stardust programs on television. I don't know what that's all about. I never watched them. But be careful about illusions of grandeur, because, or the brass ring. I'm of a different school. My school is how to say, Booker said to me something really beautiful when I'm jumping all around, but the school of quality and the deep music. And it's a special truth that emanates from the great ones. And that's the truth of an individual, individuality played by the great creators. It is a music of freedom and wonder. And what it does is that the individual truth is so personal, yet you arrive at a level through your devotion and work and connection with whatever creator resides within your spirit. to how to say, manifest something that's ineffable and transcends any of the mundane of reality. But what you have to do is realize that if you sing your song truthfully, I call all playing singing, pardon me, I'm not just referring, because I hear it that way. I wanted to be a singer, I didn't have the voice, and later I got the saxophone, and through it I could. But what I'm trying to say is that this individuality, it translates into universality when it touches other souls. And when you make that connection, it's profound, it's powerful, and it's why we're here. Then you begin to realize things like service, you know, it's very powerful and positive. So when you practice, when you shed, when you work on your stuff, were any of you guys there last night, or gals?
Oh yeah, man.
Well, did you hear how my orchestra, they all effortlessly are in service and sing the song, and at a moment's notice, we help each other, you know, and we share. And the elders used to say to me, Junior, every tub's got to have its own bottom. You know? So you can't be skating, you know. So when you guys solo, you need to how to say, you can play ensemble really tight, that's nice. But you need to also get your tub, get the bottom all burned out, you know, and you have your dreams and aspirations, but they got to be built on basics and foundations. You learn you practice your long tones, you learn your scales, your harmony, you can read and like that. And harmony and theory is real important because you need to know how to manipulate through these chords. You guys are just starting out with this stuff, but it's the basics have to become on a certain level of second nature to you, and then you begin to speak your song and your truth. And first you have to have, I don't know how to say the word like heroes, but you have to have mentors. Like I had Phineas, who pulled my coat at 9, and I had to step back and then go through the universal method and reading, and that's a saxophone book, or woodwind book. And but he also turned me on to Charlie Parker playing Relaxing at Camarillo. And that was a blues. And then Phineas would come back and look in on me. I'm going to come back and look in on Ural, God willing. I haven't been here in many, many moons, but I think that I'm becoming a junior elder now, or maybe even stepping up. My cousin is here, and he was so instrumental, Longino Cook, who also, check him out, give him some pop. My mother was always leaving me with various relatives, and I now asked him, could I call him my uncle, because he's 11 years my senior, and he was up there making model airplanes, and he was playing clarinet and stuff, and he had all kinds of Duke Ellington and Lester Young and Charlie Parker and Billie Holiday and all that stuff playing, and it touched me because I was this lonesome child and the world didn't make any sense to me. You know, the game is rigged, quiet as it's kept. I know you're old, but here it's probably insulated from all of that. But it is rigged, so you must find some way to transcend that. And do know that the mediocre man is always at his best, but that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is freedom and wonder, truth and love. You understand? And these values are in this music, and it's our indigenous art form. I travel all around the world, and that's why I was always so perplexed. Like, there's a little boy staying at your house, you know, why, you know, And his father would say, well, that little boy sitting over there, doesn't his mother know he's lonesome? Why didn't she come and get him? You know. So what I had to do is what you're all going to have to do. I had to go inside and make a how do you say it, a communion with the deity that resides in all of us, and we can make that connection, however you call that. And I realized that if no one wanted me, I would have to want myself. And what you're looking for is looking for you. When you begin to make steps like that, you more and more get met. But you have to keep sincerity together. You can't be stealing or bothering or half-stepping or character. I was trying to tell you about Booker when I first got to New York. First of all, excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. Is that pollens out in the air or something? I live by the sea somewhere when I'm not touring, but I was feeling Steve's coming up. Pardon me here. Booker told me something really beautiful. When I'll come back to where I am. We can do that. But you gotta realize that this thing is not missionary position at all. So what happened I don't know that. Did I say something? I don't know that. But I did play with Howlin' Wolf, and I saw the girls pulling his pant leg and stuff. And he was really strong and scary and something, but must have been some tenderness because the ladies liked him and stuff. But anyway, somebody better help me. Where was I?
Book a little. New York, book a little. Huh? Book a little. New York.
When I arrived in New York, that's not too far. Well, I'll come back. So at 22, I replaced Eric Dolphy with Chico Hamilton.
Oh, wow.
There's a sage in Los Angeles by the name of Buddy Collette. And they used to have two unions in Los Angeles, believe it or not, up until somewhere in the 40s, black union and a white union. This is L.A., you know. And when I was a kid in Memphis, they told me that California was God's country. Well, that sounds good to me, God's country. I can relate to something, you know. Because there was a lot of humidity that would go on in Memphis. And there was also a kind of racism that was kind of like vile or something. I didn't like the vibe of, you know, a rigged game and then one man, you know, just that whole thing is it's not. America's going to have to deal with it all. It's like even now, like they say, well, Greece is broke and Spain is broke. Well, we're broke. You know, the fiat system has never worked throughout the ages. And until you get to face the mirror of your own inadequacies and step up to them and be truthful and all that, I mean, you know, you put a man in the White House or something like that, and the guy will come and say, listen, here's three things on a piece of paper, and this you can do, this you have to get in touch with me to do, and this you can never do. Yeah, so well, what if I do that? Yeah, so, well, dead president, you know. So it's like, I'm not saying which one, but that thing happened. So you're in service. Render unto Caesar was Caesar's, but render unto God was God's. Yes. You understand? So when you know that on your instrument, I pick up Booker Little every morning. We were going to Nancy, and he had been practicing 2 hours before I picked him up at 7:45, something like that. And he'd been shed, okay, and he could hear around the corner, and he was very beautiful. But this is strange. I don't know how to tell you all this. This is deep. You all got to me late because I would have kicked y'all's ass earlier, you know. you're all not hitting yet, you know. All the way from it, you know. I mean, we knew at Manassas when I was in the 9th, 10th grade, Frank Strozier was there. It was rough, you know. He had saw Charlie Parker and Lee Konitz. He liked those guys, you know. And there was guys around who would come out of finished like Charles Thomas and stuff. And these guys were mystics, and they had found the lost chords and stuff, you know, and they knew the truth that was ineffable and beyond any kind of relativity about who's got the who's on first and all that stuff. We didn't know much about what Michael Jordan was doing. We knew what was going on in the music 24/7, you know. So we would get to school like at 9 o'clock, or 8:30, whenever it's supposed to be there. We had a late permit because we played all night at the Wolf somewhere. When you get to school, you're sitting in your homeroom class, and then someone would come in and say something to the teacher. Say, Professor Garrett wants Charles Lloyd in the band room. Oh, no. You know, when I get outside. Because what we would do, we would go in there and shed all day, you know. And I had a good mind because in my algebra class, Mrs. Turner was talking to me like, you should be an engineer. I didn't know what that was. You know, an engineer, what is she talking about? There was a guy in London they call him Sir Thomas Beecham. And when he was a little kid, he lived in a leafy environment like you have around here. And his mother asked him what did he want to be when he grew up, and he said he wanted to be a conductor. And his father said, well, I'll get him a train, a railroad line. I'll get this kid some tractors and trains and trucks and stuff. And she said, no, he means Bach, Beethoven. Oh, that's what little Tommy wants. So what the mother would do, they would call down and bring the London Philharmonic into their palatial environment and have little Tommy practice conducting. Because that's what he wanted to do. But that's another level of understanding. Back down to terra firma, what you have to do is, you do your long tones, you practice your scales, you be mindful of pitches and stuff when you play with others. And what you have to do is, the more you can play in and out of the study manuals and books, the more you can play out of it, you know. And there were all these deities around in my environment. Irving Reason, Andrew Goodrich playing saxophone, Lewis Smith, there was George Coleman over there who taught himself to play. This is something strange. Some guys are self-taught. And it depends on your level of evolution, how you do it. But for you all, the reason I'm here, I suppose, and to share in a larger way, is that everyone plays music, and everyone should, and it's beautiful. I'm so upset that education has been lacking, and there were instruments all around, you know, when I grew up, and so we all played something. And now the kids don't have instruments, you know. And I'm not bothering rappers, but those guys had to start rapping because they didn't have nothing to matriculate on. You know? They got to matriculate, you know. And so it's like, you know. So what you have to do is you've got to pick up the tempo on listening and having peers, and you need to play more too. The more you play, the more better it is. See, my great blessing was from age about 10 until I graduated from high school, I played every night of my life. That, you don't buy that. That doesn't come in a box. You know, that's something that we bake the cake, you know. And you have to get your ingredients together and be truthful with those ingredients. Be careful about sugar and a lot of stuff will hurt you, you know. So you have to have discipline and be careful. I like the barbecue sauce, but the idea, I'm not going to bother those animals. You know, there's something, they got their families and stuff. But I advised when I was here, but the problem, like my musicians, they can't wait to find the serious barbecue joint. Well, they're young, you know. I've been there. I've had the serious barbecue joint, you know. I've had it all. I've experienced all these elixirs and so-called elixirs that are out here. Most of this stuff out here is not worth dealing with. You better stay home and practice. You know? And listen to the guys you love, you know, and you need to pick up on conception about, you might need some guidance, you know, because I saw something, Dorothy played me something online, and the guy said, to this article, why is this guy here, what is he doing here? The guy has been around for thousands of years, it's not nothing new, you know, I'm just one, you know, what do you call, like, you know, in service, that's all I'm going to say about it. But so, since the guy has been around for thousands of years, some guys said, well, if anybody don't know who this guy is, then they just lame. You know, what I'm addressing is your conception. You have to, you got to check out some early Miles and Diz and Roy Eldridge and stuff like that. You got to check out some Bird and Lee Konitz and, you know, Lee Konitz got sick out. Can you imagine when I was in New York, I was in San Francisco and somewhere in the 60s, and I looked down on the street from my hotel, and there was Dizzy Gillespie out on the street. I was like, you know, whoo! You know, and you won't believe it, about 5 minutes later, he knocked on my door. He was looking for me. You know, when Master Higgins passed away in May of 2001, Max Roach called me. These are my deities. When I'm a kid, I'm hearing these guys, you know, and they're informing me of the eternal verities. Now you go there to some church or someplace, and they'll tell you, and anybody tells you that only their watch keeps perfect time, get out of that. No, because this shit is universal, and nobody has a patent on it. So even racism, see, that's so antiquated. Absolutely. Okay, dope, man. Well, at least we're white. Bullshit. Outside, I was saying, well, at least we're white. And this misinformed thing now about the 99% and the 1%. It ain't no 99 and 1%. It's about 1/10 of 1%. You know, don't talk because you know it's not like. So what you basically, I'm getting all out there right now, and maybe this is just a, what do you call, like a preview of this what do you call this artist in residence course that Bureau can find the abundance to take care of my situation. I'll come and share more with you. What I'm trying to say is that I'm giving you vision of possibilities, okay? And you must be, what's the word? It's simple. When I got to New York, I wanted to jump into the fast lane. I replaced Eric Dolphy with Chico Hamilton. Eric had gone with Mingus. My time, Underground Railroad, I'm out of California, and hoping to hit you on the head. Another day goes by, I wasn't in sleepwalking, and so I had to get to Mecca, New York. So I get there, and I said, Booker, I'm here. He said, first thing he said, we're both the same age. Booker left at 23, so maybe I was 21 or 22, and so he said, where are you staying? I said, at the A.L.L, which was right across the street from Birdland. And as I said to you earlier, play to sleep, that's nice. I want to be like that. I want to be able to like relax. No, this is cool. But somebody would take a chair. But you want to like, it's an empty chair. No, it's cool. It's cool because generations of that. She's dealt with all that. But also, you don't know how late somebody stays up preparation. You know? But my thing is against sleepwalking. I'm really not up for that. I think that proctology and stuff is set up for you if you want to do that. That's I go to the airports all the time. You know, I said, but anyway, what was that?
New York, New York. You staying across from Birdland.
Yeah, across from Birdland. See, that's why you can play with me because when you play, this is good. When you play music together, you have to say, what's your name?
Joshua.
Huh?
Joshua.
Joshua. Wow, that's biblical shit. Unanimous? It's all biblical, huh?
Keep in time.
I should be down there, you can't see. But
You're the Bible Bill.
this is a religious country but it's not a spiritual. Shut it back there, sir. What we talking about is spiritual. We got those books and the Bibles and stuff, and they fight each other, and they crusades, and this guy is not cool, and this guy, and then at least I'm white. Oh, that's bullshit. You know? So, Booker was playing at Birdland across the street from the Alvin Hotel. I don't know if you know the Alvin. One of those funky musician hotels over there on 52nd Street, on Broadway, right at 52nd Street. Birdland was on 52nd Street. And down in the basement. And the Alvin was on, in those days, I don't know how you relate to Kroner now. What do you call $5 hotels or something like that? Musicians there for $6. But, so, that's where Leslie Young died. A lot of musicians stayed there. So I see Booker down in Birdland, and I said, Booker, I'm here. I seen him in California when I was going to USC, Southern Cal. He'd come out with Max Roach. Booker and George Cole was Max. They're like 20 years old. 19, Booker come out. Booker loved Clifford Brown. Loved him. And Booker would come home. I graduated in 56. Booker graduated in 55. Frank Stroge and Mayburn, they graduated in 54. Hank Crawford was earlier. George Cole, I think, was the year before. But George lived a block off campus, and we would go by his house. And he had those Richard Pryor kind of stories for us. I mean, that's about what we had to do with girls and stuff. We didn't know we hadn't done anything like that. But George would prevail that. That's, you know, it's like Richard Pryor said, his uncle told him, boy, don't you never do that with a girl. And he said, I couldn't wait because he's undercover, some serious stuff where you have to really be in love to do that. But anyway, so, why am I, man, I'm not presentable. I'm not wired for, you know. But anyway, so Booker sees me, and I said, Booker, I'm here. Because like I joined the fraternity now because, you know, Max and the cats come out. You know, now I'm with Chico. It wasn't Max, you know, but at least I was like on the avenue somehow, you know. And Booker said, no, you're not. He said, where do you stand? I said, the Alvin. He said, no, you're not. You're coming home with me. And he, go get your stuff. And so again, as I said, what you're looking for is looking for you, because had I stayed at the Alvin, they didn't have the pipe in those days, but I would have devolved into something fast, you know, because I was ready for the fast lane, because New York is Mecca, we're playing this music, you know, and you have to, you know, you have to be up in there to do that. You heard us play last night? I mean, it's, you know, there's no drugs, it's just, that's what we do. Because both those guys, and we paid for that. You build the steps, it's lime and brick and stuff, and you go up like that. You know, you smoke a joint or something, you write home, Mom, I'm thinking about quitting college because it's not working and stuff like that. I don't have, and then you drift off, you smoke a joint, you drift off, and you come back and say, what was that thing? Oh, Mom, if anything else I can do for you, that kind of stuff. It confuses you. And so I was ready to jump into the fast lane, and Booker said something really powerful. He's like 21, 22. Sister woke up on that one. He said, it's about character. It's not about that. 22-year-old young man saying it's about character. It's not about the fast lane. You know, because the illusion of the fast lane, you think you play this music, you have to get up in there too. He said, no, it's about character. And I swear to you, to this day, I talk about Phineas. See, that's why I'm telling you, Phineas is key, because he was our J.S. Bach. He was our architect. I'm straight up about that. Some guy told me that sound guy would provide I said, I will tell you the story, Lloyd. He said, I was running Club Handy up there. White fella, I don't know what a white boy would be running Club Handy. No, it's not not hilarious, but I'm just telling you the reality. So the guy says, I just got to tell you this thing. He kept mumbling around. You know, a lot of people want to say hello to me, you know. A couple of old girlfriends even came. I didn't get to know as well as I would like. But So he said, you know, one night an old guy came up here and he said, can I play the piano? I said, well, man, nobody's here but me and the bartender. And the thing is out of tune, it's raggedy over there. He said, yeah, you can play. Go ahead, I'm closing down. I'm doing it. Nobody was up. He said, this guy started playing stuff I'd never heard in my life. And I couldn't believe it, you know. And so I said, bartender, how is this possible that this guy could be doing this? And this guy says, well, that's Finest Newborn Jim, you know. And he was a deity walking around here. Stone deity. And then they said later that he had some mental problems, stuff like that. He had no mental problems. He just sing too much. You know, your eyes get jaundiced. I mean, it hurts to go through those toll booths so many times. You know, it's not conducive to well-being. You know? I played over there across the river with him in West Memphis. So, finish the statue first. Placed in a leafy verdant garden somewhere. Come and pay our ovation. And the thing about Booker Little is that people don't know. Find his records, man. Do you know his music at all? Yeah. He was spanking. No. Out front was the first one. Yeah. One that had the five, not the five spot. Where was the old five spot there in Mal Walton, Red Davis and Black Rock. So you start listening to this stuff and get into the deep end of the pool. And you won't be ready, but it'll refresh you. You know, you listen to Phineas. If you listen, a bit. Yeah. Just because you're around here, and so the thing about Booker is that he had some kidney disease kind of thing. Was it kidney? Uremia, yeah. And so he was swelled up, and sometimes he couldn't. Function, and he had diarrhea of the gums of his lips, he'd bleed, such a leg. And, but he loved living. I was about to tell you, you didn't help me with this. When he would come home at Christmas, last year of Memphis, and he, 55, that Underground Railroad went to Chicago Conservatory. Frank went first. Harold didn't go, but Harold's self-taught. But he was there because he and Frank were just like this. Now, Frank was a white boy, but he was a brother. But he was white and completely flecking, he had blonde hair and stuff like that, you know. And it's kind of weird. So, and Harold was an old brother, you know, lean man, you know, almost Neanderthal kind of. You know, a bit strong brother, you know, but he taught himself, you know. You know that. It's not a comedy album, this stuff. But no, but it's true. So, but they went the year before in 54, and then Booker went in 55. Booker stayed at the Y there, and he would hear Max and Clifford. They come to a place called the Beehive, he would tell me about. Anyway, Clifford got killed in an automobile accident. Am I staying too long? I was having you. You have to be the next class? I'll be brief, but it's hard to me because this thing is not. I live in the now. You ever check the now? It's really great. Yeah. It's got a lot of possibilities. This other stuff about future past, and I can't deal with that. I don't have I can operate, but I don't have a cell phone or a checkbook or any of that stuff that hooks up. You know, of course, I have a lady who you know, makes it possible that I can have a pilot's license, but you can't just do that. You know, you have to pay a price. You can't. So, but you're hearing from a guy. So I'm just giving you a preview of things to come. We can't do all this stuff today. But where was I?
We're talking about Clifford Brown dying in the car accident with Richard Powell.
And so Booker came home, he was crying. And we were hanging out, you know, and he was crying to me that Clifford was gone. And Clifford died, I think, about 26, right?
Yeah, like around there, yeah.
And Bud Powell's brother, younger brother, Richie Powell, died in a car accident, I think, Pennsylvania Turnpike.
Right.
And when Brownie died, Clifford Brown, we call it Brown. When Brownie died, Booker was crying, and he said something that to this day shakes me to my wakefulness. He said, Booker's like, you gotta get this, he's like, 18 or 19, and he says, why couldn't it have been me? I don't know many of us in this room could say that when Emmett Till or Trayon goes down, you know. That Trayon stuff, but I'm gonna tell you, Emmett Till, I to this day haven't gotten over that.
Yes, sir.
It's not something that I can process, you know. And I was reluctant to go to Mississippi this morning to visit my ancestors. I was really reluctant, you know, because I just seen something on your local news and it said some guy car got burned up and they found his body over there in water or something. And so I told my uncle that. I said, he said, oh, that happens every day here. But they keep wound up. That's what history like generals and stuff. And they don't know about Booker. The thing about Booker is, check this out. Booker heard Cliff, he imbibed that. He heard Miles, he heard Kid. The thing I'm trying to tell you all that Manassas, man, you're all way behind. In Manassas, we were rough. We knew, check this out, this is something called ritam in Sanskrit. Ritam means knowingness. And what it was that we knew that kids nowhere in the world could play better than us at our stage in life. It was just knowingness because you know, we were endowed. We had the deities around to guide us. Finish, you don't know what you're doing. You know, Onsey Horn, Robert Van Talen, Willie Mitchell had a band playing the Dizzy arrangements way before Al Green and stuff like that. You know. So then there was all of that, and all those old blues guys. But there was Lewis Smith, there was Andrew Goodrich, and Irving Reese. There were all these deities walking the planet. You know, you got to understand, there must have been a reason for that. You know, so someone said, oh, that's what my uncle says. I said, you know, he's principal over at Manassas. And he said, yeah, but it was after the days. You know, he was just bookkeeping or keeping his kids out of truants and keeping them out of joint or something, you know. And forgive me for speaking like this. I don't know any other way to operate. I don't have a, you know, pick up soap. Not, but you didn't laugh at that. That's good. You know what that means? That means in prison you've been so don't pick up soap. And don't operate funny. And this lecture is for the whole town, so take it with you, and I'll come back if invited. This is John Bass. This is powerful. Yeah. My wife told me, she said, well, you've been invited to Memphis. I said, how could this be? They didn't want me for this long. You know, I came back in '64 with Cannonball. Man, Joe Sarvinu, Sam Jones, Lewis Hayes, Cannon, dealing, man. We played, where did we play? Longino, where did we play? Tempo, pick it up. Where did we play?
I can't think of it.
Oh, Windermere.
Man, we weren't taking no prisoners. We were rough, you know. We were bringing it, you know. Like that. Most of those guys are gone. Sam Jones is gone, Joe Sargent's gone, Cannon's gone, you know. So, but, you know, it's always here. My wife's a beacher, you know this. But there's some people in the underground really helpful. My wife, we were up at Amherst. I played some colleges and stuff, or UMass. I'll tell you one thing to your benefit, though. We played at Dartmouth, and I did a thing like this. I had the whole orchestra there. And the guys in the band to this day tease me about it. I said, man, you just running up and down that tired ass scale. They couldn't even play. These guys are Dartmouth, you know, you understand? And they got precedents and stuff with saxophones and trumpets and stuff who can't play. But my point is, you do this because you love it, and you will be met, you know. You have a nice tone, man. Nice tone like that, you know. But keep practicing, get fluent with your stuff, you know. where that's second nature. Check out some of those Phineas videos and it'll make you want to put your thing away. No, hang in there. You will be met. You know, if you're sincere, you'll be met. But you cats are playing music, man, and you don't let it sing. I mean, no, you got something. But you need a guy like, wake it up. No. You need to wake it up. Don't let a guy wake it up. Because that work. So what I'm saying is that all of us are God's children, and what we're really about in our fine is sharing, and we're in service, you know, because we pass through here. We want to make this a better place. We don't want to leave it, you know. So, you know, when Master Higgins was dying, he said something beautiful. He said, we made a recording. Check this recording out. It's called Which Way is East? It's just the two of us. And at one point, we did stuff. He called me Aki, you know. Islam, you know. He said, and he was Islam, and I practiced this Buddhist kind of Tibetan kind of stuff. You know, I don't know, Vedanta, which teaches the harmony of all religions. Check out my record. What's it called? Where I do the Bhagavad Gita. Mirror. Yeah. I didn't have my experience in. We played a monk piece last night. Monk's Move, right? But, well, you have to have a big repertoire too. You have to be fleet of foot. You have to be, and the thing about music is that, now check it out, the vehicle, right? The vehicle probably, if you look at it from where you sit, you might say, oh, well, no, he's not tired. I don't always feel tired. And I'm like young in the springtime, because I'm informed by something which is, has to do with transformation, and it has to do with, if I can keep the crud off and keep going forward, then, and my uncle is 11 years older than me, and he's older. But it's about growing whole. It's not about growing old. You want to grow whole. You know, it takes a long time to do that. And I'm still drunk with music, and I'm found in the music, you know. And you've got to pick up on your conceptions. You got to listen to some more music. You need to expose them to more cats who can play and stuff. We had a record player over there in the music room in Memphis, and we listened to Bird and Prez and like that. Booker came back. He was living in Hawaii. Sonny Rollins was living in Hawaii too during that period, because he was trying to kick his habit. And they would get together, and it's like these affinities. And then Sonny brought him in. Yeah, I'll let Joe go. Thank you for coming. I love the precision of the ensemble. Make the precision of your own vehicle reflect that. Check out the Memphis Diet Health Healing System, and more fruits and veggies. And if you want to you really have fruit there. You've got good fruit. And if you want to be a breatharian, that's another whole deal. I don't know if you can say that. There's a lot of toxins in the air, and that place over there in Japan, and stuff up there and like that. But God bless and stay well, and don't hurt other folks, and keep trying to each other. Any questions or any knowledge, anything you want to share?
Mr. Lloyd, I just want to say thank you so much for coming home after all this time. And I just want to present you with something. You said that people bring things to you when you walk in that path. So I want to give you this, I know this 2012 Jimmy Lunsford Legacy Award.
Oh.
To you.
Oh, yeah.
You said Jimmy Lunsford was your...
my father's college roommate.
Yes, sir. He started thinking Manassas. He started jazz studies.
I know that. Talking
yes, sir.
Football coach, too.
Yeah. Yes, he was everything, but he started music as a volunteer, you know.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yes, sir. And I was going to give this book I wrote about Lieutenant James Reese Europe, the first black man to play Carnegie Hall. And I illustrated it too.
Wow. James Reese Europe, I'm up to him.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Rob Jazz to Europe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you all for coming. And listen, I'll do better next time, but I had to give you an overview so that you stay pregnant. Don't do it till I get back. thank you. Any questions, any thoughts?
How was it to play with Johnny Ace?
Johnny East.
Yes, sir.
I feel you need to hear this. This is powerful.
Yes, sir.
Yes. I played. I'm sorry.
I love Johnny.
What? Yes, of course. You always have to listen to those who, just briefly. You said, how was it playing with Johnny?
Yes, sir.
Johnny East was a blues singer that was most amazing. I was in the Verve, but the gigs around here were blues gigs. There were no, or playing over those roadhouses over in West Memphis, Arkansas. But
Plantation Club?
Huh?
The Plantation Club you talking about? The Plantation Club?
Plantation Inn,
Okay.
Danny's Club, Cotton Club, there was a bunch of them. But the deeper stuff was where Wolfman played over in the place with the dirt roads, downland and stuff, you know, and barbecue and fish sandwiches. But we would go play, and then they'd stop back through there and gamble all night, you know. And then I'd have my $4. Because they come out, you know, it'd be bright daylight. So I really love the music play this dude. But not Johnny East. This is a beautiful thing I figured out. While I was playing with Johnny East, you know, you play these long tones behind him. And he sang so slow. One. Two. You know, so it was in there, and I figured out something. I said, if I am here, I must truly be here. See, wherever God places you, if you be really there, you will find something. It's one of the, all this stuff is the same teaching, but what I'm trying to say is that I figured out that in between the beats of his blues, you could learn calculus. You could learn quantum mechanics. You know, before the sound, before the word. So I learned playing with him because I had a lot of time to think. And I trained my mind to be this is another thing, those folks who left missed this. This is powerful. Take this home with you. The mind is a wonderful servant. If you ever check it out, it cheats, it makes noise. It does, you know, it's like Richard prying the pipe. Richard, come here. You know, it's always trying to get you to do something. It's like a monkey on a thing. It takes in, it's a recording device. It takes in impressions and stuff like that. But what you have to do is not to go for the okie doke. It's like when I started eating the barbecue, you know. The Jones would come over me, but I said, no, I'm not going there. No. And then when I stopped going there, then he said, no, leave Lloyd alone. He's not going to participate. You know, so he'll get off my back, you know. So the thing about, what are we talking about?
Johnny Ace is, you know, how was it to play with Johnny Ace?
Huh? No, apropos. Yeah, we talked about John. We talked about that. But where am I in what I just...
Mind and servant.
It's a wonderful servant, but check this out. It's a terrible master.
Terrible master.
You got the horse, you got the rider, and you got the driver. Figure out that.